Today I'm sharing with you my 3 favorite summertime dips. These make great additions to any grazing or snack board if you're having a girl dinner or if you're feeding a host of humans. I have for you today my roasted beet hummus. We have our last bit of spring edamame and pea dip, and of course we have a nice twist with the Middle Eastern classic Muhammara. So get on in the kitchen with me and let's make some yummy summertime dips. If you like this video, hit the like button down below. It really helps our channel. And if you want to see more, click the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you never miss an upcoming video. You can find all the recipes from today's video down in the description box. It'll be linked down below. One of my big tips for making Muhammara is to use store-bought roasted peppers. It just makes life so much easier and then you don't have to do that. Now, if you have the grill already going, throw some red peppers on the barbecue, put them in the coals, and then, do with what you will. All you would have to do is remove the blistered skin and the seeds and the stem from inside, but that's pretty much it in terms of prep. So for our Muhammara today, we're gonna add in some roasted red peppers. I also have some toasted walnuts. I have some lightly toasted panko breadcrumbs. The type of breadcrumb you use doesn't matter because this is all getting blended in your food processor, but just make sure that it is an unseasoned breadcrumb. We have some pomegranate molasses. I love using pomegranate molasses in dishes. It really just adds this nice sour note. We have some ground cumin. You can find this at every grocery store. Sumac, it's light, it's lemony, it adds such an interesting flavor. We have some Aleppo pepper. We have some lemon juice that's freshly squeezed, some minced garlic cloves, and a couple of cracks of black pepper, and some kosher salt to taste. You can make this in a blender if you prefer. I like chunkier dips, so I'm gonna stick with my trusty food processor today, but you do you. To ensure you don't have a gritty dip, I recommend letting your blender or your food processor go for a bit. Halfway through processing, just make sure to give everything a bit of a mix, scrape down the sides, and then continue on your merry way. This is a good texture. Just checking seasoning, it's pretty darn good. I'm just gonna add a little bit more pepper. Our next dip is a pea and edamame hummus. I love this dip because the main ingredients live in my freezer regularly anyway, so I feel like for the most part I have almost everything on hand. So to a high-powered blender or your food processor, you're going to add in some frozen peas, some shelled blanched edamame. We have some freshly picked mint for some freshness, a little bit of ground cumin, some minced garlic, a little bit of olive oil, and a little bit of tahini. It just adds a lusciousness. And then we of course have some lemon juice just to brighten everything up. Season to taste with some salt and pepper. And we're gonna blend this until it's nice and smooth. And we're just gonna give this a mix. I'm just going to give everything a scrape down here. Like our other dips, you want to scrape this down and then let it run again, just to ensure that you have a nice homogeneous dip, but also that you end up with the texture that you prefer. All right, this is looking pretty good to me. I'm going to move this over to a little bowl and stick it in the fridge until I'm ready to use it. What I love about this recipe is that the mint and the pea and the edamame are just very refreshing. They have a lightness to them that isn't very heavy. Now, if you find that your dip is on the thicker side and you want to loosen it up, you can add up to 3 tablespoons of water and that'll help thin out your dip. I love when nature can provide you with technicolor. To make our roasted beet hummus, I have lots of shortcuts because no one really, at the end of the day, wants to roast beets in the middle of summer. I use canned chickpeas for this recipe, and don't throw away the liquid that they come in. And because you're not looking for something that's chickpea forward, canned chickpeas are great in this recipe, and they can use up some stuff in your store cupboards. So I have a couple of roasted beets here. I'm gonna add that to my food processor. I buy store-bought roasted beets that are in the vacuum seal. Works great here. I have a couple of cups of chickpeas, and of course our more traditional hummus flavorings here. We have some tahini, great in both savory and sweet dishes. We have a little bit of olive oil, some garlic. Our spices, we are using some paprika. I'm not using smoked paprika here, I'm just using sweet paprika. By all means, go for it if you want that flavor, that additional smokiness. But we also have some ground cumin, and ground cumin is already super smoky, so I didn't feel you needed the double smoke hit. Next up, we have some lemon juice, just to brighten all of our flavors up and just bring everything to the fore. And of course, I'm going to season generously with salt and pepper. Chickpeas can eat up salt, just like any other bean. So just make sure that you season accordingly and to your taste preference, of course. I have some freshly ground pepper here, and I'm gonna hold on adding my aqua faba right this second. I want to see how my consistency is looking, and then I'll add it in as needed. Give this a mix. My hummus is just a little on the thick side, so I'm going to go ahead and add in just a couple of splashes of my reserved aquafaba here. I'm going to transfer this over to a bowl, and then we're going to plate up all of our dips and crudités. Yay! So all of our dips are done. They're chilling in the refrigerator. I'm gonna prep the last of my crudités. Basically, whenever I do like a crudité plate or we make one at work, you just want it to feel like you're walking through a vegetable patch, like you're walking through someone's kitchen garden. That is a crudité spread on a plate. My top tip for a crudité spread is to just have lots of different bright and vibrant vegetables, preferably. What you can get in season always is great, but do your best, right? This is just about enjoyment and pleasure. I'm going to show you my version of the perfectly smushed and elegantly swirled dip. So I like to use my largest soup spoon. This is a nice big tablespoon, and I gather from the fat of my spoon, and I just like to plop it down, and I just kind of do a couple of different piles, right? And then you're just going to go ahead and just take your spoon, the back of it, and you're just gonna swirl it around all of your plate. And then I just load up until I have the right amount of dip for me on my plate. So I like to make sure that I can kind of stick things in, and I don't cover the entire plate. Little breakfast radish here with their tops and tail. I think that looks pretty good. I like to do just a little drizzle of olive oil, especially inside the dip. It will nicely kind of get caught in all of these delicious spirals. I have some edible flowers as well as some black sesame seeds. I have some white sesame seeds, and then just a little bit of roasted chickpea. And I'm just gonna do this here down this side. So I have some edible snapdragons, we have some dianthus, we have lots of marigolds and calendulas. I also have some beautiful borage here. And here is the roasted beet and the edamame and pea dips as well for our trio of dips and our crudités. Alrighty, are we going to try this out? Let's taste this. I have chosen my preferred veg. I have a snap pea here. That's so good. Let's give the beet a try. The sweetness of the beet pairs really nicely with that snap pea. And lastly, we have some of the Muhammara. The Muhammara, that's a sleeper hit, man. That is so good. That's just a hint of a kick. thanks so much for hanging out with me today in my kitchen. I hope you get out there and you try making these dips yourself. If you do, drop a comment down below and let me know how you like these recipes. I hope to see you in our next one. Bye!